Highlander, The Immortal Legacy of the MacLeods by Andries. Below.
Screaming, howling through the wind, blood on ancient stones, echoes of a warrior's cry. Bones beneath the throne, castles shrouded in mist, ghosts of battles past, legacy carved in granite, legends built to last. Burning eyes in the night, neath eternal light. Shadows dance with the flame, Highlands scream their name. Steel clashing in the dark, warriors rise and fall, echoes in the cold wind, answering the call, ancestors whisper low, secrets lost in time, history.
Chapter 4. Echoes of the Past. The full moon cast long shadows across the MacLeod property as Duncan and Jacob prepared Anna's burial. They worked in silence, each lost in their own grief, as they dug into the highland soil near her beloved rose garden. Mythos kept watch, his ancient eyes scanning the darkness for any sign of Jupiter's return.
"She should be laid to rest at dawn,"
Duncan said, his voice rough with emotion.
"It's how the Highland clans buried their own."
His weathered hands gripped the shovel tighter, muscles straining against the rocky earth.
"She loved hearing about the old ways."
Jacob paused in his digging, watching his father's face in the moonlight. Despite his mortality, Duncan still carried himself with the bearing of a warrior, even in his grief.
Tell me about them, the old ways. Tell me about our clan.
Duncan leaned on his shovel, his eyes distant.
"The MacLeods were proud people. When we buried our dead, we would keep vigil through the night, telling stories of their lives, singing the old songs.
A sad smile crossed his face.
Your mother used to love when I would sing them to you as a baby."
I remember, though I never knew what the Gaelic words meant.
They spoke of honor, of loyalty, of the bonds between family that not even death could break. Duncan's voice carried centuries of memory.
"We'll honor her the Highland way, but first,
He turned to Methos.
we need to prepare for what's coming."
Methos stepped closer, his sword gleaming in the moonlight.
Jupiter won't stay away for long. He'll want to finish what he started.
Then we need to understand why.
Jacob said, climbing out of the grave they'd dug.
You said you knew him before, Father. What turned him into this?
Duncan's face darkened.
It was during the Spanish Inquisition. Jupiter and I were working together, trying to save both mortals and immortals from the witch hunts. But the power of the church, the fear in people's hearts, it changed him. He began to believe that immortals should rule over mortals, that our power gave us the right.
And you opposed him?
Jacob asked.
I tried to reason with him first,
Duncan said.
but when he started sacrificing innocent lives to maintain his position of power within the Inquisition, I had to stop him.
He shook his head.
I should have taken his head then, but I showed mercy. Darius taught me to show mercy. I thought he could change.
Mercy isn't weakness, MacLeod.
Methos interjected.
It's what separates us from monsters like Jupiter.
And now that mercy has cost Anna her life,
Duncan's voice cracked. He turned to Jacob.
which is why you need to learn everything I know, everything Methos knows, as quickly as possible. Jupiter will come for you next.
Why me?
Jacob asked.
What makes me so special to him?
Because you're unique.
Methos explained.
Born of an immortal who chose mortality, awakened to your own immortality. It's never happened before. The power in your quickening could be unprecedented. You could even have a soul tie with your father, a link made by the quickening itself.
Duncan nodded grimly.
Which is why we need to accelerate your training. No more basic forms, no more practice strikes.
He picked up his katana from where it rested against a nearby tree.
From now on, we train as if every session could be your last.
And what about you?
Jacob asked his father.
You're mortal now. You should stay away when Jupiter comes.
A fierce pride shone in Duncan's eyes.
I may be mortal, but I'm still a MacLeod. I won't hide while my son fights my battles.
He raised his katana in the moonlight.
Besides, there are some things only a father can teach his son.
Methos watched the exchange with ancient eyes.
Then we begin now. Jupiter will expect us to be consumed by grief, to be vulnerable. Instead, we use this night to prepare.
As the moon climbed higher in the highland sky, 3 figures moved through the darkness of the property. The clash of steel on steel rang out as Jacob learned the deeper secrets of swordplay from both his father and Methos. Each strike, each parry, each movement was now imbued with deadly purpose. Near the freshly dug grave, Anna's roses swayed in the night breeze, their petals still stained with her blood. Come dawn, they would lay her to rest with all the honor of the Highland clans. But for now, the night belonged to preparation, to transformation, to the forging of a warrior who would need every advantage to face what was coming. Jupiter had taught them all a costly lesson about mercy. When next they met, there would be none to spare. Highlander, the Immortal Legacy of the MacLeods. Video and voice done with Infinity AI. Research done using Claude AI.